In this video we're gonna look at how you can use Microsoft Copilot to guide you around in Flight Simulator 2024. We're gonna use the Vision mode, which is a new mode in the Copilot application. We will go to how you can get the Copilot application, and of course we're gonna see how helpful it is really in Flight Simulator 2024. But first, let's roll the intro. So here we are at an airport somewhere in the United States using the Cessna 172. So how can we get Copilot, Microsoft Copilot in this case? Well, to do that you need to go to the store, right? So simply go to the Microsoft Store, and inside the Microsoft Store you will find a search bar on the top, and that's where you type Copilot. You can also see I already tried it. And that's where you'll find this application. I already installed it, but if you didn't install it yet, you can simply press the install option, or you can click the item and then get some relevant information. Once it's installed, you will have the ability to open the application. I already opened up the application, and as you can see, this is how it looks like. Now there are a few things which you need to keep in mind is that the first time you use some of the functionalities you might get some additional prompting to allow, for example, the microphone access or the screen access. I already proved that, so that's likely where I won't be able to show you those kind of things. But I'm going to quickly show you where to change those things, because if you go to the privacy settings, for example the Microsoft privacy settings, that's where you can adjust all these settings. That's also where you can see that Copilot is there, it's currently in use and it's allowed to be used. I also experienced some issues with it. For example, the microphone which I normally use for my, I would say, videos, that one isn't being recognized, but the one from my headset for some reason does work. So if you're experiencing the same issue, then try connecting a different microphone. I'm not sure if it's a known issue with Microsoft, but that's the workaround for now at least. Once you've done that, you can press this nice icon. This nice icon will allow you to share your screen with Copilot. So once I pressed it, you will see that it allows me to select a specific window, or I can share the complete screen. So I can select screen, but I can also go to Flight Simulator, and if I click share, it will only share the Flight Simulator screen. Once I've done that, I can start talking to Copilot. So I can say, hey Copilot, can you explain me what you currently are seeing?
Looks like you're all set for a flight in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I see the PHYDY aircraft ready on the runway. The display shows options to toggle the EFB with a tab key or enter the aircraft with the Shift-C command. Ready for takeoff?
Yes, I am. So let's go inside the aircraft.
Awesome! To enter the aircraft, just press Shift and C together. Ready to step inside?
So now we're in the aircraft. What should I do? Where can I find, for example, the checklist?
In the cockpit, the checklist is typically found in the menu. You can access it by pressing the C key on your keyboard. This will bring up the in-game toolbar where you can navigate to the checklist option. Ready to give it a try?
Sure.
Now that you're inside the aircraft, press the C key to access the in-game toolbar. From there, navigate to the checklist option to get started with your pre-flight procedures. Let's make sure everything's good to go.
So what I now did is I muted Copilot, right? I muted my microphone because else it will continuously pick up the sound. So I press the C key, but as you can see, the C key doesn't work. So in some cases, Copilot has it wrong. But the nice thing is, of course, that I know how to use Flight Simulator, right? So pressing it again, and then I press the C key, and you can see that the bar, I would say, it doesn't appear, but we know where to find the checklist. So is it 100% perfect? Well, not yet, but let's see what it can help us further with, right? We open the checklist, so let's ask for some explanation about this one. Hey Copilot, what are you currently seeing? Can you give me some more explanation on how to use this?
I'm seeing the cockpit of your aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The checklist window is open on the right side, detailing a pre-flight inspection checklist. You can follow each step, like removing the pitot tube cover, setting the parking brake, and verifying fuel quantity, by checking off each item as you go. It'll guide you through the pre-flight procedures to ensure everything's ready for takeoff. Ready to go through the steps?
Of course I'm ready, right? But I'm not just muting Copilot. So let me, say, close the window, and then let me see if I point to a specific, let's say, part of the aircraft, if it recognizes what I'm pointing at, right? Let's try it. Hey Copilot, what is this? Can you explain me where the mouse cursor is on?
The checklist in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is on the right side of your cockpit view. The marker cursor is indicating the master switch, Alt and BAT, item which should be pushed to the on position. This means you need to turn on both the alternator and battery switches in the aircraft. This step is part of the pre-flight inspection to ensure all systems are operational. Ready to flip those switches?
But what are you currently seeing, right? I'm pointing at something with my mouse cursor. It's a system. What, can you explain me a little bit more about the system?
You're pointing at the instrument panel in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The screens you're indicating with the mouse cursor are part of the aircraft glass cockpit system, which includes the primary flight display, PFD, and the multifunction display, MFD. They show essential flight information like airspeed, altitude, heading, and engine data. These screens help pilots monitor and control the aircraft's systems and navigation. Ready to explore more?
Can you show me how, or can you explain me how to start the engine? Is there a shortcut which I can use to start the engines?
Sure thing. To start the engines in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, you can use a shortcut. Press Ctrl-E on your keyboard, and it will automatically go through the engine startup procedure for you. This is a quick way to get your aircraft ready for taxi and takeoff. Give it a try.
So you can see that it also knows how to use certain shortcuts, right? So now it's starting the engines because I pressed the Ctrl-E key, of course. So it doesn't need to have all the information on the screen. It also has some knowledge about Flight Simulator 2024. Although I do think that some of the knowledge applies to Flight Simulator 2020 based on some testing. So let's wait until the full aircraft has started, right? And let's say play around with it a little bit further. So here we are, right? Let's see, aligning. And then maybe let's start asking, okay, how we can really take off, right? If everything is correct. Hey Copilot, now my engine has started. Can I already take off, or should I do some other checks?
Before taking off, it's crucial to perform a few more checks. Ensure your flight controls are free and correct. Set your flaps as needed. Check your instruments, and make sure you have clearance for takeoff. Once everything looks good, line up on the runway, apply full power, and rotate at the appropriate speed. Ready to get airborne?
If you look at this, right, this is the flap. Can you tell me if it's set correctly or not, or should I adjust it?
The flaps lever in your simulator appears to be in the retracted position. For takeoff, it's often necessary to extend the flaps to a takeoff position, usually around 10 to 15 degrees, depending on the aircraft and conditions. Adjusting the flaps to the correct takeoff setting will help you achieve the proper lift and angle during your takeoff roll. Ready to adjust the flaps?
So you can see it's pretty amazing, right? If I'm pointing out certain things and if I'm asking things, it really helps me guiding, okay, hey, you might need to change it due to this, this and this. So it's pretty cool. So let's see if it also can help us finding out how we can adjust the flaps. So how can we adjust the flaps?
To adjust the flaps in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, locate the flaps lever, which is typically on the lower center console. It's a small lever you can move up or down. You can adjust the flaps by clicking on it and dragging, or by using the keyboard shortcuts, usually F5 to raise and F6 to lower the flaps incrementally. Aim to set them to the takeoff position, typically around 10 to 15 degrees. Ready to give it a try?
So let's see if it works, right? In my case it doesn't work, but it could have to do with the default shortcuts, which are kind of messed up. So let's say push it down one position, right? You can see it's currently set to 25, which is a little bit too much. I'm moving it using my mouse, right? So that's why it's, say, a little bit clunky. But you can see I can adjust it. So let's see if we can take off, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move or taxi to the runway and then simply take off and ask some other questions to Copilot. So I'm pausing the video and then I will continue. So here we are at the runway, right? Almost ready for takeoff. So let's do some further things, right? Let me see, okay, if we can ask some further questions to Microsoft Copilot to see if we need to do some other stuff. So let me hit the brakes. So here we are. We're now standing still, almost. Hey Copilot, here I am again. We're now on the runway. Can you help me checking if the lights are set correctly? So I'm zooming into the lights and tell me if I need to adjust something.
I see the navigation lights section on your screen. You've toggled the position, but it's not clear if they're on or off. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, navigation lights are essential for visibility, especially in low light conditions and when flying in controlled airspace. Make sure they're switched on before taking off. Ready to flip the switch if needed?
Okay, what about the beacon lights? Do I need to switch it on or off? Currently, both the beacon and landing lights are off. Do I need to switch them on?
Yes. Johan, you should switch on the beacon light. It's used to indicate that the aircraft systems are powered and that the aircraft is about to move. It's important for safety to alert ground personnel. The landing lights are generally used during takeoff, landing, and when flying below 10,000 feet. So you can switch those on as well when you're ready.
So can you tell me what the current navigation frequency is which we're using?
The current navigation frequency is set to 110.50 megahertz. This frequency is typically used for VOR navigation. Is there anything else you'd like to know about the flight setup?
Are you sure that's correct? I do think it's 113.90.
Ah, you're right. The navigation frequency in the upper left corner is indeed set to 113.90 megahertz for Nav1. My apologies for the oversight. Is there anything else you'd like to check before takeoff?
Yeah, I want to know what the current heading is which I'm still flying or planning to fly.
You're currently set to a heading of 313 degrees. Does that align with your planned course?
Yeah, currently it is. So let's kick off.
You're set to a heading of 313 degrees. Looks like you're ready to go. Enjoy the takeoff.
So you saw that Copilot isn't 100% perfect, right? It made some mistakes because it said, okay, that the active frequency is 110.50, while I do think it's 113.90, right? Because that's the blue marker. But hey, that can be, I would say, something which will be fixed in the near future. So let's take off now and then let's see if we are, I would say, can ask Copilot some other questions. Whoop, here we go. A little bit bumpy takeoff, but... Hey Copilot, can you tell me something about the altitude which I'm currently flying?
You're currently at an altitude of 823 feet. Ready for the skies?
Yeah, what about my speed? Because the speed looks a little bit weird. Doesn't look correct, right?
Atlanta approach. Cessna Papa
You're flying
Hotel,
at an airspeed
Yankee
of
Delta
257
Yankee.
knots.
Cessna
It might
Skyhawk.
seem a bit
1
fast
miles
for your current
northwest of
altitude
Kilo
of
Whiskey Delta
1,092
Romeo,
feet.
1400.
Do you want to adjust
Request
that?
flight following.
So here you can see Copilot made it up again, because I'm really not flying that fast, of course. So let's see if we can ask some further questions.
Cessna Yankee Delta Yankee.
Cessna Yankee Delta Yankee. Radar contact 1 mile southeast of Fife Niner Golf Alpha, 2000. Altimeter tree 004.
Roger. Cessna Yankee Delta Yankee.
Let me see if Copilot can help me switching on the autopilot. Hey Copilot, can you tell me which buttons I need to press to switch on the autopilot to stay on this altitude?
To switch on the autopilot and maintain altitude, press the AP button on the autopilot panel. Then, activate the ALT button to hold your current altitude. Give it a go and the plane should level off at your present height.
That works. How can I change the heading which I'm flying to using the autopilot? Which button do I need to press, or which button do I need to turn?
To change your heading in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, you need to use the heading knob on the autopilot panel. It's usually labeled HDG or heading select. Rotate it to your desired heading and your aircraft will turn to follow that direction. Give it a spin and you'll be on your way.
So here you can see it perfectly was able to at least give me an indication. Yes, I know the airspeed isn't correct, but hey, look at my airspeed. It also doesn't look correct. This is likely a bug in sim update number 4 beta, which I'm participating in, and hopefully will be fixed pretty soon. Let's try some other things with the Microsoft 365 Copilot. Hey Copilot, how can I change this navigation, right? How can I change this map, for example, to disappear? Which buttons do I need to press?
I've highlighted the soft key buttons on the multifunction display, MFD. You can use these buttons to change the navigation map display. Give it a try.
But it looks like you're pressing the wrong one, right? Should I press this map HSI one?
I've highlighted the Map HSI button for you. Pressing it should change your map display. Give it a shot.
So how can I now activate, for example, the traffic?
To activate the traffic display, select the traffic button on your multifunction display. It's typically labeled TFC or traffic. Press that button and it should display other aircraft in your vicinity. Give it a go.
Can you highlight the button for me?
I've highlighted the traffic button for you. Press it to activate the traffic display on your map. Give it a try.
So this is pretty cool, isn't it? It simply allows me to kind of figure out where those buttons are in the aircraft by simply sharing my screen with Copilot. Should we try one thing left? Well, let's see if it can help us plan our flight. Hey Copilot, now we're airborne. I totally forgot to set my flight plan. Can you guide me to the steps how I need to set the flight plan by also highlighting the buttons?
Sure, setting a flight plan in Microsoft Flight Simulator is straightforward. First, Press the flight plan button on your GPS or navigation panel. Then use the knobs to enter your departure and destination airports, along with any waypoints. If you need more help along the way, just let me know.
Yeah, I can't find the button. Can you highlight it for me?
I've highlighted the flight plan button on your GPS or navigation panel. Press it to start setting your flight plan. Give it a go.
Let me zoom in a little bit further, because I think you're selecting the incorrect button, right? It doesn't say FPL, it says FD. Is there another button which I need to press?
Ah, I see what you mean now. The FD button stands for Flight Director. For setting a flight plan, you should look for a button labeled FPL or FMS, which stands for Flight Plan or Flight Management System. It might be on a different part of your navigation panel. Take a look around that area and see if you can find the right button.
Can you help me finding it?
I've highlighted the FPL menu button on your MFD. Go ahead and press it to start entering your flight plan.
Oh, you didn't highlight it, but let me press it myself. So here I am. How can I now change the origin and the destination?
I've highlighted the flight plan button on your GPS. Press this button to change your origin and destination. From there, you can enter the desired airports. Let's set it up.
So how can I just adjust it, Copilot? It doesn't look like to work for me.
To change your origin and destination, first you need to press the FMS knob to highlight the origin field in the flight plan menu on your screen. Then use the FMS knob again to scroll through and select your desired origin and destination airports. Once selected, press the End button to confirm.
So in this case, normally you would scroll this wheel, right? You would scroll the wheel and then it will simply start to turn. But for some reason in my case it doesn't work. It looks like something is wrong again with Flight Simulator. I'm not 100% sure, because maybe I'm doing something wrong, right? Because normally if I would press this one, I can simply start turning the knob. Oh, that's my bad, right? I simply highlight the incorrect field, but hey, Copilot wasn't able to explain it to me. I'm playing the dumb pilot, right? Because I'm just trying to figure out how good it helps me in setting my flight plan. So in this case, I can simply adjust the flight plan, of course, and then I'd say get some help from Copilot. But I don't want to stress Copilot too much, because as you could see, it isn't 100% perfect yet. Although it was really helpful finding some of the buttons, in some cases it highlighted the incorrect buttons. But hey, this new functionality, and I do think that it will improve in the near future. So this is also where we end this video, where we looked at the vision mode in Microsoft Copilot within Flight Simulator 2024. I think it's pretty useful in some cases, not in all the cases, but if you're new in Flight Simulator, it might be that additional assistant which will help you finding items in Flight Simulator. So again, here in this video, I hope you liked it. If you got some comments or feedback, then feel free to leave them below this video by using the comment box. And I hope to see you back next time for a new video.